how are you doing today? I've had a great Friday. I hope you had a great Friday too. First of all, they're really off topic, but like for 20 seconds, meet Joe. He's our new channel pet. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I posted a video earlier today and I unboxed these little things and I love them, okay? So yes, meet our channel pet. He's fantastic. Okay, anyways, moving on. He didn't die, I promise. Anyways, Pokemon, or not Pokemon, but like it's recently been announced that the set Primal Clash, which was released like years ago, is getting reprinted. So today I thought I'd do a discussion about it because, well, the last time we saw a reprint like this happen was Roaring Skies, and in that video I sort of made a video, just sat down, talked to you guys about it, and I really liked how that went. I was reading through the comments and I read a lot of interesting things, and so anyways, I wanted to make that again because this is a kind of a big deal. Actually, it's a really big deal. So anyways, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about. First of all, let me talk about how I know that this is happening. So, the reason that we know this is for sure happening is because, distributors have been getting notifications and emails and, you know, messages from Pokemon saying that, they are now able to order Primal Clash booster boxes again, which means that Pokemon has officially done another print run of this set that they had said was out of print. Now, this is kind of similar to Roaring Skies, but it's kind of also not similar to Roaring Skies. So, Roaring Skies was a set that was actually released after Primal Clash, so Primal Clash is actually older than the Roaring Skies set, and a while back, you know, Pokemon announced that they would be reprinting Roaring Skies, and at first a lot of people were upset about it, or some people were upset about it, especially the people who had invested a lot of money purchasing Shaymins or purchasing sealed booster boxes in hopes of keeping them sealed and then reselling them later, and overall it spurred a lot of controversy, because I mean essentially Pokemon lied to us in some way. I mean, because they said that they're no longer printing something and then they just went out and printed more of them out of the blue. A couple of years later they're like, oh, we're gonna print more of them, okay. And a lot of people assumed that the reason they did that with Roaring Skies was because the price of Roaring Skies booster boxes were just extremely outrageous, and there were Shaymin EXs and Shaymin Full Arts that were just going for insane prices. But with this set here, this Primal Clash set, we kind of have a different scenario happening. I mean, we don't have any cards that are worth like insanely like expensive amounts of money. The booster boxes, I mean, they're going for a fair amount, but it's nothing anywhere near the Roaring Skies prices. And so it's like, why is Pokemon reprinting this? And it's kind of strange. So anyways, I looked it up on Troll and Toad, and the most expensive card from the Primal Clash set is currently the Primal Kyogre Full Art, and that's currently going for $25, probably a little bit high. And then the second most expensive card is the Primal Groudon Full Art, going for $23. And so, you know, we aren't seeing like insanely expensive prices. Like the Shaymin Full Arts we were seeing go for like between like $80 to $90 at one point, and so like I understand why they would think that reprinting Roaring Skies might be a good idea, but with this Primal Clash set, like, they have absolutely no reason to reprint it. Now, as far as like what I feel about this, and like, do I support this or do I like think that this is a terrible idea? Honestly, I couldn't care the least. I am not a person who like buys a whole bunch of products in hopes of like keeping them sealed and then in 50 years reselling them for millions upon millions of dollars. That's not me. I know that there are a lot of people who do that. Sorry, back on topic. But yeah, like for me, it doesn't really affect me. Now, as far as like a collection standpoint, none of my cards in my collection, like, I really have like collected with hopes of like reselling later. Like, I collect for the purpose of like myself. I want to see the cards in my collection, and I want to have this fulfillment of being like, oh yeah, I got all of these full art cards, or I got all these cards from this set. But I don't really, you know, get the cards in hopes of like reselling them later. So, you know, it doesn't really influence me. Like, these cards that might be worth a lot, like, they're probably going to decrease in value, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because I was going to keep them anyways. So, as far as, like, me, I don't really care about this too much. Like, it doesn't influence me a lot, but I know that there are a lot of people out there who are influenced by this, and, you know, obviously the websites out there who are able to purchase products from Pokemon and then sell them later, they're probably gonna like this. The average consumer may or may not like this, depending on whether or not they wanted to open up Primal Clash or not. I know that it's, you know, it's giving people more chances to pick up Primal Clash booster boxes, which I guess could be good, because now you can get them at cheaper prices. But yeah, I don't understand why Pokemon did it, and I'm not saying that it's like bad or not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's strange, and this does influence Pokemon a lot. It's a big deal because it influences the way we trust Pokemon now. I mean, we already had that huge scandal with like Sun and Moon where people are like mapping packs, and now we have this where Pokemon is not sticking to their word. They're saying they aren't gonna print something anymore, and then they go around and a couple years later they're like, oh, just kidding, we're gonna print it now. And so it just makes you wonder, like, okay, what's next? Are they gonna start printing Dragons Exalted? Are they gonna start printing Boundaries Crossed again? And while the chances of that happening are extremely, extremely slim, if not like impossible, the point is, like, Pokemon, like, if they say something now, like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, they ruin their credibility because they don't stick to their word anymore, and that's kind of scary. And with that being said, I'm not at all trying to bash Pokemon, or I'm not at all trying to support Pokemon either. I'm just, I think it's an interesting thing to think about. And while Pokemon probably made this decision in hopes of making more money and, you know, saying, okay, well, if we print all this, then a bunch of people are going to buy all of this, and then we're going to get all this more money. And while in the short term, this probably was a good business decision, and it ultimately ended up making them some more money in the short term, in the long term, it does have effects. And I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that, like, this does not affect things, because, you know, if they did it with Roaring Skies, and if they did it with Primal Clash, like, where does it stop? When are they going to stop reprinting sets? And when can we trust Pokemon, and when can we not trust them? And, you know, for me, this decision, again, it didn't really mean a lot. Like, it doesn't influence me. I don't invest in cards. You know, so as a average collector who enjoys opening up Pokemon cards, like, sure, if they want to reprint it, doesn't matter. But I know that there's a lot of people out there who would be concerned and upset about this, and I definitely understand where they're coming from, because Pokemon said something, and then they didn't stick to their word. But anyways, that was just my thoughts on that. It was a bit of a mess. I am making sort of like a stream of conscious video where I just turn on the camera and I start talking and ranting about things that are going through this crazy mind of mine. But anyways, I'd love to know your thoughts about this in the comments. You guys are way more intelligent than I am, and I really enjoy reading through this stuff. So please, if you have any thoughts, opinions about this, feel free to leave them below. But yeah, I thought that you guys should know about that. I thought you guys, it's kind of like a news update video, but like not. I'm just talking about like one specific thing. But yeah, Primal Clash booster boxes should be available. I know that Over the Top TCG is selling pre-orders of them, so if you want to get them for like 95 bucks, which is pretty good for a Primal Clash booster box, you can do that. And they're also accepting bulk trade-in. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys!